Approximately 12,000 years ago, humanity stood at a crossroads that would forever change its destiny. The agricultural revolution marked a profound shift from a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle to settled agrarian societies. This transformation, beginning around 10,000 BCE at the tail end of the last ice age, unfolded across multiple regions: the Fertile Crescent in present-day Iraq, East Asia along the Yangtze River Valley, Mesoamerica, Africa, and South India. Driven by a warming climate, population pressures, and the refinement of stone tools, humans began domesticating plants like wheat, barley, rice, and maize, alongside animals such as goats, sheep, and cattle. What followed was a cascade of changes that reshaped human civilization, enabling the rise of complex societies, economic specialization, and technological advancements. Yet, this leap forward came at a profound cost, entrenching social hierarchies, degrading the environment, and, paradoxically, diminishing individual well-being. Before agriculture, human societies thrived as foragers, relying on a diverse diet obtained through hunting, fishing, and gathering. This lifestyle, refined over hundreds of thousands of years, fostered adaptability and resilience. Hunter-gatherers moved with the seasons, following game and ripening vegetation, ensuring they never exhausted any single ecosystem. Communal resource sharing defined their social structures, promoting a relatively egalitarian existence with minimal wealth disparities. Archaeological evidence from pre-agricultural sites reveals a varied, nutrient-rich diet: wild game, fish, nuts, and berries, sustaining populations with only a few hours of daily labor. Low population densities also protected these groups from the rapid spread of infectious diseases. Studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies, such as the Kung San of southern Africa, reinforce this image of a balanced existence, where leisure and social bonds took precedence over relentless toil. But as the climate warmed and human populations grew, pressures mounted, setting the stage for a monumental shift. The agricultural revolution didn't happen overnight. It was a gradual process, unfolding over millennia as humans experimented with domestication. In the Fertile Crescent, wheat and barley cultivation coincided with the taming of goats and sheep. In East Asia, rice and millet became staples alongside pigs. Mesoamerica saw the rise of maize, beans, and squash, while Africa cultivated sorghum and yams. These independent developments, driven by a post-Ice Age climate that favored plant growth and refined tools like grinding stones and sickles, marked the dawn of a new era. The ability to produce food rather than merely gather it allowed for permanent settlements and surplus accumulation. This surplus became the foundation for societal transformation, enabling population growth and the emergence of villages, then cities. No longer at the mercy of nature's bounty, humans could plan, store, and distribute resources, unlocking possibilities unimaginable to their foraging ancestors. The societal changes that followed were profound. Surplus food freed some individuals from subsistence labor, paving the way for economic specialization. Artisans crafted tools and pottery, traders exchanged goods across growing networks, and leaders emerged to oversee resource allocation. This division of labor spurred technological innovation: writing systems to record harvests, irrigation to maximize yields, and metallurgy to forge stronger tools. Writing, for instance, first appeared in Mesopotamia around 3400 BCE as cuneiform script, initially used to track agricultural output. But this progress came with a catch. Controlling food supplies required hierarchical structures. Unlike the communal ethos of hunter-gatherers, agrarian societies developed land ownership, taxation, and centralized governance. Land became a source of power, concentrated in the hands of emerging elites who levied tribute from laborers. Socioeconomic stratification took root, giving rise to ruling classes, property rights, and organized states. laying the groundwork for civilizations like Sumer, Egypt, and the Indus Valley. These advancements propelled humanity forward, but they also entrenched disparities that persist to this day, from feudal lords to modern wealth gaps. Paradoxically, the very innovation that fueled population growth and urbanization exacted a heavy toll on human health and well-being. The shift from a diverse foraging diet to dependence on a handful of staple crops, wheat in the Near East, rice in Asia, maize in the Americas, introduced nutritional deficiencies. Monocropping heightened the risk of famine. A single failed harvest could mean disaster. Archaeological findings from early agricultural sites, such as Çatalhöyük in modern-day Turkey, reveal a grim reality. Skeletal remains show declines in stature, increased dental pathologies, and signs of chronic illness. Sedentary lifestyles, combined with close proximity to domesticated animals, turn settlements into breeding grounds for diseases like tuberculosis, influenza, and smallpox, many of which persist today. Studies suggest early farmers worked longer hours than their foraging predecessors, their bodies bearing the brunt of repetitive labor with musculoskeletal stress and arthritis. Crowded living conditions exacerbated these woes, as evidenced by traces of fecal matter and parasite eggs found in ancient dwellings, where hunter-gatherers often lived into their 30s or 40s with relatively good health. Early agriculturalists faced shorter, sicker lives, a trade-off masked by the promise of progress. The environmental consequences were just as profound. To carve out farmland, early societies felled forests, drained wetlands, and diverted rivers, reshaping ecosystems on a massive scale. In the Fertile Crescent, the once lush cedar forests of Lebanon dwindled, while soil depletion became a recurring challenge as intensive farming stripped nutrients from the earth. This shift from small, sustainable foraging bands to sprawling agrarian communities set humanity on a path of increasing environmental exploitation. The British agricultural revolution of the 18th century, a distant heir to this first wave, amplified these trends with innovations like crop rotation and selective breeding, fueling the Industrial Revolution but further straining the planet. Today, the consequences of that initial transition are unmistakable: climate change, biodiversity loss, and soil degradation, challenges rooted in the decision to bend nature to human will. By contrast, pre-agricultural societies operated within their environment's limits, allowing ecosystems to regenerate, a harmony lost to the plow. What if humanity had never taken this fateful step? Had the agricultural revolution not occurred, civilization might have taken an entirely different path. Without permanent settlements, the rise of large-scale governance, written language, and technological leaps could have been delayed or reimagined. Cities, empires, and industrialization might never have emerged, or at least not in forms we recognize. Population growth would likely have remained constrained, maintaining a more egalitarian social order free of entrenched hierarchies. Environmentally, this alternative trajectory could have preserved a delicate balance, sidestepping deforestation, pollution, and climate crises. Yet, such a world might also have lacked the innovations that define modernity, medicine, science, and art born of urban density, leaving humanity in a perpetual state of subsistence. This speculative exercise highlights the revolution's dual nature, both a catalyst for extraordinary achievement and a Pandora's box of unintended consequences. The agricultural revolution was an inflection point, one that set humanity on an irreversible path. It fostered population booms, cultural richness, and technological marvels, while also entangling us in webs of inequality, disease, and environmental destruction. Was it an unequivocal advancement, a necessary step toward modern civilization, or a Faustian bargain, trading simplicity for complexity, resilience for fragility? The answer remains elusive, caught between the gains and losses. But one thing is certain. This transition, born in the fields of the Fertile Crescent and beyond, still shapes our world today. As we confront modern challenges, climate crises, social divides, health disparities, understanding this foundational shift offers not just a glimpse into our past, but a guide to navigating the future. The agricultural revolution was not merely a chapter in history. It was the prologue to our world, a story still unfolding with every harvest and every hope for what lies ahead.